Hi guys, I wanted to take a moment to come on and talk about the importance of the purge. So this came up for me yesterday morning and for two of my clients yesterday as well as today. So I thought this is a good opportunity to take a moment to talk about firstly why it's important and what on earth a purge even is. Okay, so if you've been in any kind of spiritual circles in a while, especially on the plant medicine side, you'll be very familiar with this word, purge. But if this is all new to you, then it might be a little bit of a strange concept, especially if you've been experiencing it and you don't know what the heck is going on. Okay, so we can purge on multiple levels, and we often do, especially when we're going through some kind of spiritual activation or elevation. It can happen on a physical level where you might experience vomiting, diarrhea, night sweats, body aches, and these can all be understood as ascension symptoms. You can also experience them on an emotional level where you suddenly have a whole lot of difficult emotions coming up at the same time that could seem disproportionate to what's going on, or there could be nothing going on and suddenly an emotional purge or a rise of big difficult emotions like sometimes anxiety, sometimes fear, sometimes sadness and grief. You can't stop crying and you have no idea why. Sometimes anger. Anger is not my default. So for me, when I had all of this anger coming up, this rage, it was so foreign to me and I couldn't understand what was going on, especially because at that time when this anger was coming out of me, it was purging, I didn't know that I was going through another dark night experience, and I certainly did not know I was going through a Kundalini awakening or activation. So it was very difficult because the lack of understanding made me think something was really wrong with me. Even though I've been through this process before, anger was a new experience on this journey of spiritual awakening and light body activation, and what else can we call it? Kundalini activation, ascension, right? So on a mental level, what that can look like, and this was also a new experience for me, although I did have a dark night of the soul in my first awakening. The dark night during my first awakening looked like depression, complete hopelessness, a total existential crisis, suicidal thoughts. It was really, really difficult. This time, it was different. It wasn't linear in the sense of having like these depressive feelings and memories of the past, reliving the experiences, the difficult experiences and traumas of the past again. This time, it was ups and downs. So it was like, it almost, I experienced it more like bipolar. You know, where one moment I was ecstatic in a sense, or not ecstatic, but like blissful, connected to the universe, feeling really loving and open and peaceful, grounded, and just these beautiful feelings that we know to come along with spiritual awakening. And then in the very next moment, it could be on the same day, I would experience depressive feelings of anxiety, feelings of extreme fear and hopelessness and existential dread and suicidal thoughts again. And so it was a different experience for me going through it like that. But all of this is purging. So why do we purge? So there are multiple angles that we can look at this through, right? You can look at it from a light body activation activation perspective. You can look at it from Kundalini activation, or Kundalini awakening. From the Kundalini perspective, they talk about how Shakti, or the energy at the base of the spine, basically travels up the spine through all of the chakras, releasing the toxicity, the density, all the illusions, all the things that you are not, in order to make space for what you are. And so that releasing can look physical, emotional, mental, energetic. Energetic, it looks like, it wouldn't so much look like a purge or feel like a purge, although maybe the second time it felt a little bit more like a purge, but like extreme heat in the body, or extreme cold, like electricity running through your body, twitches in your body, which are known as kriyas. Sorry, this part of the highway is very loud. So it can look like that from an energetic perspective, which is, I guess, can be viewed as purging, but also can be viewed as activating. You know, kind of turning on, switching on other functions in your body. If you look at Tashira Takiren's explanation of light body activation, she talks about the different stages of light body activation. I think the first two stages, or I don't think I've done the third one. This was from a few years ago. I need to actually come back and break down all 12 again. Because those videos from the past are really, the sound is pretty awful. But nonetheless, there's good information in them. You can also just Google Tashira Takiren light body activation, 12 stages of light body activation, see what comes up. And they explain what's happening in the cells as the cells begin to identify or realize that they can start using light as a source of sustenance for the body. So previously, they only recognized food in the physical sense of food, whatever you consume in that regard, as a source of sustenance. But now they start to recognize light as a source of sustenance, and so they start to vibrate faster, which is what raises your vibration, but also what releases the density or the toxicity that's stored in the cells. And that's what leads to the purging symptoms. So from those two perspectives, what's happening mentally, emotionally, physically. You can also do a detox of your physical body, which will assist you in your ascension as well, which will also lead to similar symptoms. But then when you get to a certain point, you have to move beyond just focusing on the physical and now into more of the spiritual and the energetic. So it will take you to a point along your ascension path if you come at it from the base, from the bottom, from the physical body upward. Whereas for me and for most people, when they go through some kind of spiritual awakening or dark night of the soul, it's happening from the top down. So basically, not from the physical body focus first. It happens from the spiritual into the physical body, but they both result in purging symptoms and in these awakening symptoms to a degree, right? So the importance of it is that in order for us to be more of who we really are, in order for our bodies to ascend in the physical, right? So and through the spiritual, through the mental, through the emotional, we need to let go of stuff. For example, if your house is full, packed with stuff from the past, you never throw anything away, and you've got 35 years of stored stuff in your house, and then you say, I would really love this new thing, right? This big new thing, a new couch, right? New furniture in my living room. I really love that. Where are you going to put it? That's the best way that I can explain the process of this ascension and this purging, you need to let go of the old furniture. You need to let go of the old stuff, the stuff that no longer serves you, so that you can make space for the stuff you say you want. Right? Sometimes we're not saying we want this consciously. We want, especially those who are seekers or who are on a spiritual path, consciously and intentionally, we want to ascend. We want to have these beautiful spiritual experiences. We want to know who we are beyond the physical body, beyond the ego, beyond our relationships and our titles, and we want to know all of this stuff. Oh, my doggy. Hey. He's about to run out of the gate, looking for somebody to interact with. Joyful. Anyway, we want to know these things, but we want to hold on to who we are at the same time, or to who we have been at the same time. It's like we don't want to die to the old self. We don't want to let go of who we have been, because that's all illusory. But in order to know who you are, you have to let go of who you think you are. You got to let go of the couch, the old furniture. You've got to let go of the old self. This is the purging process. This is the waking up to who we really are, beyond the illusion of who we think we are, of who this reality is, which requires letting go. Letting go of the old beliefs, letting go of the stories of the past, because that's really what's stored in the body, right? Somatic exercises can really help with that. Somatic breath work, somatic movement, anything that's related to somatic release is really helpful in that ascension process, releasing what's stored in the physical body. Breath work is a powerful tool. But even though it is releasing at a level, or purging at a level that we are not conscious of, right? We're still letting go of stuff. We still need to work on what's going on in our belief systems, in the mind, in our psychology. Because ultimately, and this is what I tell my Reiki clients, is I will never just do energy healing with them. There'll always be some element of coaching. And the reason is, you can take a shower and keep taking a shower. You can come for your cleansing and you're just going to keep getting dirty because the old systems are still at play. The old programs are still intact. The old way, the old beliefs are still at play. So you got to come and do your cleansing once a week. And eventually you'll get to a point where twice a week is fine, and then eventually once a month, and then you'll just do it on your own, But in the beginning, once a week. And while we're doing that purification and that cleansing of your energy body, we start working on what's going on in the mind, because it's the mind that's causing all of that congestion in the energy body, that is slowing down or making it really causing resistance in the process of ascension. So the purging process is your friend. It sucks, and when you're in it, it sucks. But when you're on the other side of it, so much gratitude. Like, thank you that I went through that process. Thank you for that dark night. Thank you for that release, that emotional release, that mental turmoil and upheaval, the upheaval of my life, everything that I thought I wanted, everything that I was working toward, crumbling around me, everything is failing. Why? Because it's all attached to the old self. It's all attached to the old perception of who you are. And whether you are consciously deciding to walk this path or whether something triggered you onto it, you got to let it go. Or not, or don't let it go. But if you don't let it go, you suffer a lot more. So, yeah, your choice. I heard somebody in a video today saying, we have free will, but our free will is basically whether we walk the path of our destiny, surrender to our destiny, or whether we resist our destiny. And that's basically where your free will lies, to surrender or to resist. In resistance, we know there is a lot of pain and suffering. I'm going to leave it there for you guys, and I hope this was a helpful video just to help you to accept and see the necessity of the purging process and the beauty of it, and how it is really serving you. Much love and light and consciousness and awareness, especially when you're in that process. And I will see you guys on the next one.